Hey everyone, welcome back to the All Music Matters on That podcast. I'm your host, Brian, and today I welcome the lovely Tracey, aka Subtlety. Or I'm hoping I said that right. Sorry.
Subtlety.
Subtlety, yeah. Sorry,
They must
my
have
English is
thought
not as good
that.
as it used to be. So, yeah.
That's all right. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Tracey. How you been?
Good, good. I've been filming a video for some crazy guys overseas, and they're quite they want lots of takes. It's quite annoying. They won't mind me saying that. The things
Let's
you
hope
have
not.
to do.
I was gonna say almost like feeling like a Hollywood star at that moment there. So yeah.
Well, it's this is my 15 minutes, I suppose.
In a manner of speaking, but it actually may be a little longer than 15 minutes, but we'll see how it works. So okay, so what sort of music video are you doing? Is this for one of your songs or is this actually some
Someone
sort
else,
of film?
someone else's song. Someone else's song. Yeah, in the indie community.
I was like, who is it?
Oh, they would kill me if I told you.
Mm,
I'd have to
all right.
kill you.
Mum's the word. Okay, fair
Yeah.
enough. We'll figure it out eventually, but I guess do they
Mm.
have a release date in mind and maybe we can know?
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. I'll definitely let you know. Yeah. Sorry, we've been laughing, haven't we? Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm all good now.
Actually, I feel the audience were having a little technical difficulties in the beginning right there, but we got it to work out. So actually, believe it or not, Tracy did something. So
What
she
the
had the
heck is
magic
that?
touch. She did something. So
Oh, sorry, it's my alarm for something. I think it's for you. It's my alarm for you.
oh, was it?
I'm here.
Well, you know, we're on time. We actually
Yeah,
started a few
that's
minutes
right.
early, so that's all good. Yeah. So just fill in the audience, I guess. So which part of the world are you hailing from?
Adelaide. Adelaide in South Australia.
The land down under, as they would say.
Yes. We're right down the bottom.
Are you close to Sydney or Brisbane or any other big cities?
Melbourne. Closest to Melbourne, I would say, yeah.
Yeah, Australia. It does look like a beautiful country, but I guess have you guys been recouping? Because you guys had
Oh.
some real bad wildfires a little while back.
Yeah, they come pretty close to here. Yeah, it's a bit scary. We're we're pretty one time we were actually away on holiday in Naracoorte near Penola in South Australia, and we had bushfires coming down the foothills because I'm in the foothills of Adelaide, and yeah, so we were listening to on the radio the updates right up until like 4 a.m. in the morning. You know, it was a bit scary, but they got it before it came down the hill, which was good. But yeah, that's the main concern, definitely in Australia. I think is the bushfires for sure. They're terrible. Yeah, but you know, feel very lucky to live here though as well, especially
That's for
with
sure.
everything that's on the news at the moment as well. Yeah,
Yeah,
feel,
good to see you
feel,
safe there too. So
yeah, if you feel quite lucky to be down the bottom here, like away from everything. Yeah, very
away from
lucky.
everybody else. Yeah. So yeah, I can see
Yeah.
why. We are isolated from everybody else who may be a little bit more crazier than we think they are. So, yeah. But Tracy, welcome to my podcast right here. So the way it's going to work is just going to ask you some questions. Let's get to know the woman behind the music here too, and also as the musician as well here too. So, you all ready?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So start at the beginning right here. So I guess tell the audience this: who are you? And I guess how'd you become a musician?
Um, I've always sung. Since I was little, I've always sung to the annoyance of my family, big time, because I would sing commercials on TV. That was my big thing, singing commercials. And it was funny, the last song that I've done, my piano teacher said at the end of the song, he said, "It sounds like you're singing a commercial for electric blankets or something." And I'm like, "Yeah, or washing powder or something." So there's my influences, you know, singing commercials right from I was young. And then my parents bought me, I originally come from Perth in Western Australia. That's where I was born. But I came over to Adelaide when I was 6. And yeah, they bought me one of those flip out record players that you pull down, and it had 33, 45, and 78 speed on it. And they gave me my first two little singles were Patsy Cline's Crazy and Charlie Rich, Most Beautiful Girl in the World, Charlie Rich's song. And it's funny because they weren't really like what my parents listened to, but I think it's what they had in their record collection that they think they could give to me, and it didn't matter if I scratched it, like on my record player, because I was just like 6 years old using it for the first time. But those two songs, I just used to put them on my little record player and just mimic them, just sing along with both of them all day. I just loved it. I love my little record player. Yeah. So, and then I was just influenced probably by my parents' music. And when I was 18, I joined a couple of choirs, and I did some classical training when I was about 17, and I sung in restaurants. I was really bad at waitressing, so they stuck me behind a microphone instead on a Saturday night. Yeah, and my friend said you have to go for this audition for a band, and I absolutely did not want to. And she pushed me and pushed me, and so I went for the audition, and I got it, and it was just a backup singer for a cover band. And yeah, that was my first step into live music, and I did it for the next 30 years or so after that, just singing in cover bands, covering all my favourite artists, like for the last 30 or so years. Yeah. Just all cover music. No originals at all. And I went on talent shows as well, and yeah. It's funny like how life works out, because when I went on a talent show here in Australia, and I was 22 years old, and I don't know if you know Molly Meldrum in America. I'm pretty sure you do. He used to promote a lot of artists here, like way back when. And after I sang, he asked me if I had any originals, he would be interested in listening to them. And at the time, I didn't do any originals at all. And I didn't even have an urge to do them at all. Just didn't think it was something I could do. And I just said, no, sorry, I haven't. And that was it. So I just did cover music for all those years after, and only started doing my first original song like 3 years ago. Yeah.
It does seem like a lot of people end up doing like cover music at one point in their lives. So I guess what sort of cover music were you doing? Were you doing some of the classic rock ones like Heart, for instance?
I don't think I would tackle Heart. I think they're the only ones that can do that stuff, I think. You're pretty brave if you can tackle Heart, I think. Just all the greats, I never touched Celine Dion. I wouldn't be that silly. I used to get requests for it a lot, and I said, well, I'm not a jukebox, so I wouldn't even attempt to sing her, because everyone's going to be compared to try and do her stuff. I just did everyone from Dusty Springfield to ABBA to Patsy Cline to 80s music, 70s music, 50s, 60s. I never did anything really hard. I did a bit of hard rock in a couple of bands. I did a bit of just the cover music that was around at the time in the 80s. but never anything too heavy. I don't think my voice lends itself really to that. Really, yeah. But then again, I mean, look what Evanescence has done. You know, there's no rules in music anymore, is there? Maybe that's something I should do. Some sweet singing doom metal or something. You know, to throw a spanner in the works.
I mean, hey, yeah, everyone likes a good shock in the music scene here too. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's worth a try.
And I was lucky, Brian, because my parents had great taste in music. I think, anyway. You know, Pink Floyd and Elton John. I just love Elton John. And yeah, a lot of Rod Stewart. I had a lot of Rod Stewart. I had a lot of Beatles. They had good taste, for sure. So I was very lucky that, you know, I was sort of brought up on music in the house. You know what it was like I don't know, you don't look very old to me, but when I was young, it was all about the record player in the house. And yeah, that's all you did is put records on at parties and everything, you know, the good old days. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had a good background in music for sure at home. And singing live on a microphone for decades, sort of. It's really weird though. I really feel like my voice is probably at its best the age I am now, and also from not singing every single weekend, your voice gets a little bit tired. So definitely feels good to be at a time where I can sing when I want to, for sure. If I don't want to sing, I don't have to sing. Yeah. It's quite a roller coaster singing every weekend in a band. And some people just keep doing it and love it. But, you know, I did it for a lot of years and I just thought that this is something that I've never done before, so let's try this. Yeah. It all came about through COVID, though. So for all, you know, the tragedies that happened with COVID around the world, it was a small blessing for me because it led me to want to learn the piano, which led to me writing my own music. So something good came out of it for me. Yeah.
Yeah, it was always a nice little blessing in disguise. And as you'll get to COVID here, just a little bit here too. And I was going to say, the funny thing about Patsy Cline's Crazy, it was actually written by Willie Nelson. And I guess he did it on a napkin.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it wasn't as big as it probably should have been. And I guess when he threw it away, Patsy Cline at some point found those lyrics. And she turned into a big hit and everything too. So that's actually a nice shout out to Ken Burns' country music documentary that he did.
Wow. I didn't know
went to try to
wrote it.
I was going to say he went to fall asleep on Broadway in Nashville there, and amazingly didn't get hit by any cars. So
I love his voice.
yeah.
I've never done country music ever.
No.
The closest thing I got was probably when I did a lot of John Cougar. Did a lot of John Cougar stuff in the 80s. Yeah. I loved all that stuff. I like country rock. But I'm getting into lots of different country now though as well. You know, with I've been listening to the playlists on the Vox and Burlos community playlists that you know, get to review songs on there, and they Vox and Sticks put out playlists that are genre based. Yeah. So I've been really listening to the country ones, and there's some amazing stuff being made on the country scene, that's for sure.
Even from my good friend Steven Anderson from the Burlos Band.
Yeah, top guy. He's certainly made an impact on the indie scene, that's for sure.
I did actually interview him not too long ago, but I would say he's a man of few words.
Oh, did you? I'll have to look up all your interviews, Brian. I'm sorry. I
That
saw
one's on
Queen
Spotify. So
Marie's. Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, that'd be interesting. How many have you done?
I've done a good bit. Some of them like go over an hour at times. So
No.
sometimes I would split them like into two parts. But I stopped doing that recently after I started interviewing like a bunch of indie musicians because I was able to fill in. I was able to fill in my whole schedule and everything too, so I didn't have to like worry about splitting the interviews up. So I just went straight forward, no matter how long it was. So
Yeah. How
it's an
many
honest
have
line.
you done, Brian? How many have
Well, altogether, I think a little less than 200 because I know
Wow,
there's so
good on you. That's amazing. Are you a
still sporadic at
musician
times.
yourself?
I am a musician, yeah. I actually do some drumming. I have electric drum sets kind of tucked over there somewhere. So yeah,
Okay.
and I also do. I'm more into metal, that sort of stuff. So me
Yeah.
and a couple other indie musicians, I've collaborated with them, and we actually got a nice little EP coming out this October 31st of Halloween. Me and Wayne at the
Oh,
Bridge.
really?
Oh yeah,
What is it called?
Terror of the Deep.
Yeah. And what is the band called?
Uh, it's actually my music project. It's just me and a fellow of mine, TJ Garcia, also AKA Waiting at the Bridge. But it's basically my band group is called Demiurge. I'm basically like a creator of the universe. That's their deal. So, and
Oh,
I won't spoil it too much, but coming out October 31st. So
all right. I'll have a
make sure
look
you get your
out.
pre-saves today. So yeah,
I'm listening to lots of different music now since I joined the indie community. It's been really good. Really opened my ears to, you know, music that I didn't even know existed.
it'll
You
keep you on
know,
your toes. So yeah, always got something.
yeah. I think you sort of you get stuck in what you sort of think you like to listen to, and until you sort of write your own stuff and get involved with other people, you realise that there's lots of opportunities out there to mix styles and genres and come up with some really good stuff.
That's for sure. And I guess while we're on that topic here, let's get into, I guess, your little music project. I'm assuming it's just you.
Yep, just
So
me.
subtlety. So I guess let's go ahead and delve into that history here too. So I guess what's the history lesson behind this?
Oh, what the name?
Well, name first, and I guess also how the whole music project came about.
Oh, well, COVID. Yeah,
I guess yeah, we could tie it into COVID here too, because I guess you did mention about that.
yeah,
But go ahead.
yeah, COVID, because COVID coincided at the same time when I decided to stop being in a band every weekend. And the last band that I was in, I was with some of the players for, well, one in particular, the drummer, Greg. I was with him for 25 years in a couple of different bands. But the last band I was in, I was with him and some other players for a good 17 years, I think 18 years. Yeah. And I just wanted to have a break and maybe pare it back a bit, just play once a month, and yeah, because it's a bit of a every weekend. It's great, it's great fun. It's been a wonderful life being able to play live every weekend, you know. And then sort of COVID came and it sort of made up my mind for me a bit too, because really quickly the live scene just crashed and everyone had to stay home. And I suppose there was a lot of musicians felt the same. They were all out there not being able to play live. And I don't know, I think it led to a lot of musicians writing their own music, probably. And I thought, well, can't sing because it's a bit like a drug, singing in front of people for sure. You do miss it when you stop. You do miss it. So I thought, what's the next best thing? And I thought, well, I've never learned an instrument all my life. Was not interested in the piano at all when I was younger. It was offered to me and I wasn't interested. I just wanted to sing. And then I thought, well, I've got to do something with music, so I will just learn the piano, and um, decided that that would keep my creative mind on a path that would keep my mind busy and active, music wise. And I just wanted to see if I could do it, basically. Yeah. And so I thought the only way it's going to work for me is I need lessons, because I'm learning offline is just, just ridiculous. It's too hard. And I wanted to support the musicians that usually music teachers, a lot of the time I find are musicians anyway, and I wanted to support them by having lessons one to one every week as well, because the live scene was pretty bad. Yeah, it was the best thing I ever did, because it gives you structure. So I've been having a piano lesson every Thursday for the last 3 years, and I only miss one if my piano teacher takes a day off. That's the only. But it's really good because it gives you structure, and you've got to have something every week to do. So, um, and I was lucky I got a good teacher too, because they didn't make it seem too hard in the beginning to learn. We did really, really basic stuff. And he said, I will have you playing a song within 1 week. And I thought, oh, that'd be unreal. And yeah, so I just learned chords. And really, being able to learn a song in 1 week sets you up for, well, if I can do that, I can do lots more. So, I didn't have to sit down and do theory with him for months and months on end, because I think I just would have glazed over, But he asked me in the beginning, what exactly am I doing this for? He got right down to the nitty gritty, and he said, why are you here? And what really do you want to do with it? So it was good that I ended up with a musician for a teacher, I think, because he knew how to fast track what I really wanted to do without all of the, I never wanted to to do concerts or anything like that. It was purely a tool for hopefully when COVID sort of stopped, that I could at some capacity maybe do some live work, just me and my piano. That was my vision and my dream. I thought, I can see me in a little club with my piano doing a bit of singing and doing my own songs. I thought, that's what I'll do. Yeah. I just think you need a plan, and you need, something to look forward to, with when you're passionate about something. Yeah. And that was all I sort of had. I thought, well, just learn the piano. Yeah. So 3 years later, here I am, and have a few songs behind me now, and a lot of, exciting things happening in the future as well that I'm looking forward to.
Actually, when I said a few songs behind you, I was seeing some writing on the little artwork you got behind you there too. I guess who made that artwork for you?
No, this is a screen. Someone gave it to me. Someone gave it to me. Yeah.
Okay.
I did do art at school. I did want to be an artist, actually, but because I loved it. And I did really well at high school in art, but that's only because, you're at your most creative when you're young. And I was then anyway. And I loved the environment in high school for being creative as well. But when I went into the adult world and did further education in it, it wasn't a very good experience, because I didn't like being an artist and having to be an adult at the same time. I liked having a teacher that sort of guided me along the way. And yeah, so I did a drawing course for about a year, and my teacher said to me, Tracey, are you good at anything else? And I said, well, I can sing. And he said, well, I think you should go and do that. And I'm there, oh, okay. So that was a really big hint. And I decided that I just finished the course, and I said, okay, well, he's sort of telling me I'm not good at this, so I'll go and do singing. Isn't it funny how people actually, it's just funny how the way things turn out. I mean,
Subtly.
it was quite cruel and callous at the time. It felt like, but he did the best thing ever for me, really, in the long run. He just said, just do what you're good at. You know, he said, you're okay at this. You're okay, you know. But I was not a good technical artist. I was more an expressive artist, you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't good at doing a still life, fruit bowl or anything like that. I just did like art that was a bit obscure, yeah. And he didn't see anything in it, but it doesn't matter now because I'm happy. I'm happy doing this anyway. Yeah. I've had to work for a living as well, you know. I just don't know how I did it. I used to work full time and sing on the weekends. Yeah. I think it catches up with you though.
At some point, yeah.
Yeah. But now I don't have to work that hard anymore. And so I can concentrate on my singing. And what brings me a lot of satisfaction too is supporting other artists as well with their music. It's I feel very lucky to have that time available where I can support others as well, because indie artists, you know, they sure need it. You know, we've got a lot of challenges in the world with AI, streaming. It's a different world, I think, for indie artists for sure. It's a
Yeah.
bit, a lot of navigation is required, isn't it?
Sadly, yes. And I guess just real quick, how'd you come up with the name Subtlety?
My sister did,
Oh, really?
yeah, because my name's Tracey Sutcliffe. She said, oh, why don't you call it Sut rather? And we just put the two words together. And she goes, just call yourself Subtlety. And I said, all right. And it's been okay, but some people just pronounce the B all the time, you know. And I said, no, it's the actual word, yeah. So it's been a little bit hard in that respect with the name, you know. I thought maybe I shouldn't have just had the B in there at all, you know. It's a bit weird, isn't it? But yeah, I think it's worked, and I think it suits me anyway because you know, I'm a bit of a subtle sort of singer, I think. My work's pretty subtle, I think. Yeah.
We got one good number of puns right there, yeah.
I think it's very apt for me. I have been known to put people to sleep with my music.
Little bedtime music, yeah. I was just gonna say, you know, some teachers who subtly tell you how to, or at least pursue a nice path, because I know you mentioned that about your art teacher. Subtlety. I'm trying to make sure I pronounce it right. I told you my English is terrible now. I blame COVID for it. So sorry. Sorry, I pronounced it wrong there too. But
Nah, it's all good.
so you're just doing like piano and vocals, I guess. Have you done any other collabs with any other indie musicians outside of the ones that you mentioned earlier in this interview?
Yes, I have been very, very lucky. Very lucky. It was definitely a leap of faith for sure. I didn't think I'd ever do it. And my piano teacher said to me that he said, you'll be surprised when you learn the piano and write your own music that you'll probably want to start collaborating with people. And I didn't see myself doing that at all, you know, at the time. I thought, firstly, I wouldn't be good enough to do that, you know, because I didn't really technically know a lot about playing an instrument then. I'm very much ear trained. So technically with chords and all that sort of stuff, but I've definitely learned a lot learning chords on the piano for sure. But a lot of it is ear based, what I hear in my head and what my ear hears just from all that singing, doing harmonies all those years and just singing with female, male voices, just trains your ear. So I rely on my ear a lot to hear what's right. Yeah. You know, it's as soon as, like, if harmonies come into play and someone tries to show me on their instrument, I just, like, my brain just shuts down, because that's not how I hear things. It's just in my ear. I'll go by what my ear tells me. Yeah, but I definitely think I've become a much better singer from learning the piano. Absolutely, my ear has become really tuned to notes now. It's been really, really good for me. And with collaborations, what was my first one? I did one with my piano teacher, which was really nice. Yeah. I don't really know what my first one was. I've drawn a bit of a blank, but oh, yes. Oh, I'm so sorry. So I got this phone call. No, it was from, I don't know, it was an email. I got an email from a stranger in Sweden. And I think that was my first collab. Yes, it was. This wonderful guy called Aidan Thurso, that's his artistic name, not his real name. And he emailed me and he said he liked Landscape of Your Life, which I did a while ago. And he said he would like to possibly remix it. And I thought, I just do not know this person at all. And I was like, what should I do, you know? And I thought, well, what's the worst that can happen? And I just said, yes. So I'm just trying to say yes now to things and not be so intimidated musically by any prospects. So I just said to myself, Tracey, just take a chance. And I said yes, and it was the most wonderful thing I've ever done, because the song turned out amazing, and he's an amazing producer, and it's actually doing really well on streaming, and he actually got the sound that one of the sounds I've always wanted to sound like, or what I thought I could be, in my wildest dreams. He did that because he's got all the stuff and all the knowledge and all the courses about mixing, and he's got all the creativity as a producer. And I just thought, oh my God, I never thought that I could sound like that, and it just happened. It took a long time though. It took over 6 to 8 months, just back and forth. It was a really good grounding for me on what a collaboration is. It was a really good start for me, and I can't thank him enough for turning the song into that. It's got So thousands and thousands and thousands of streams on Spotify, and we don't know where they're coming from at all. And we have been warned about it, but I'm very transparent with my distributor, and I contact them all the time. And it just jumped into the algorithm onto Spotify Radio, and it's taking up like 87% of its play is on Spotify Radio. So I couldn't understand why my distributor was saying to me, you know, where are all these streams coming from? And I'm like, well, hello, Spotify's doing it, not me. Yeah, so, you know, these are one of the challenges that indie musicians, you know, they're at the mercy of what other people do, especially with streaming. Someone can take your song and stick it on 300 other people's computers, and you've got no say. And you can have your whole catalogue taken down off of Spotify, and it's happened to a couple of my indie artist friends in the last year as well. So I would say that's a massive challenge for indie artists at the moment. Social media, for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure too. And I guess while we're on that topic here too, I guess what sort of challenges have you been facing recently as a musician, and I guess also the distribution and everything else that we kind of been talking about here, because I know we kind of hit it at AI as well. So I guess
Yeah. Just touching on the collaborations too. I must mention an artist called Barker as well, who collaborated with me on Autumn, and he took my song to another level that I had no idea that it could go, and I'm so thankful for that he wanted to do that one with me, because we're both very proud of that song, how it turned out. And I'm, you know, it just goes to show you, like, if you just take a chance and reach out to people, magic can happen. And that's why I've also recently have been accepting offers from other collaborators to do things with them, because you know, your music can do so much more for people if you collaborate with other people than just working by yourself. I think it's a lot more rewarding than just being on your own, for sure. And as a result of it, I've had a hand in producing music that I'm really proud of and very satisfied that I've been able to do so far. For sure. Very thankful. Yeah. So, challenges. AI. Wow. That's a big one, isn't it? So, I don't know. My thinking is that technology is technology. It's here to stay. It's going to evolve, and we'll just have to adapt to it. And I think, I don't know. I think people make their own minds up about what they listen to. So if you're a listener and you're hearing something that just doesn't feel that human to you in any way, it's got to touch me somewhere in the lyrics or the melody, or it doesn't bother me if, you know, it's a song with an AI video. To me, music is about the message a lot. What do we do music for? We do it to make a comment on what we see around us, I suppose, and to help other people. So if you're getting that from whatever it is, I don't see a problem with it. But I think we need to be transparent about what we use as well, because you don't want to create a false environment where people think things are real and they're not either. So I think it's definitely going to be a balancing act, definitely, for everyone. involved for sure. Yeah,
Yeah, you're not lying. So yeah.
Yeah, it's just going to be a balance, I think. I mean, you can't beat the human side to things, can you? It makes us people, makes us who we are. So that's a big challenge for artists for sure, especially with the videos and things like that.
Be like, hello, my name is Human. There was actually a song called that, and
Maybe
I keep forgetting what the band name is here too. I don't know, it's gonna drive me crazy, but
almost human. But we had a band, Almost Human, in Adelaide. They were really good. Yeah, so we just all have to navigate it together and support each other through it, I think. And you never know, it might even revert back to just playing instruments again. It might go full circle.
it came full circle in the end. Yeah, it's like in the end, I ended up right back where I started. That old deal, yeah.
Yeah, and with AI, I mean, when you put something into AI is giving you back what it thinks everyone wants to listen to as well, isn't it? They're going on statistics, aren't they?
They're going off numbers. That's kind of the sad thing here too, because I know whenever they're trying to get like music venues, that sort of deal, it's almost like they just look more like how many Spotify streams you have and stuff, like how many people you can bring into like the venue, for instance. And that's kind of sad when you think about it.
It is. That's why being an indie artist is great because, you know, you don't have to play by the rules, I suppose. So there's going to be an audience out there for you somewhere. And there's going to be an audience, whatever you do, is going to need you. You just got to find it. And they probably usually find you anyway. Yeah, so that's why community is very important. Connecting, yeah. Connection.
Actually, yeah, that's for sure. Actually, I did see some of your posts today, or I think more of your comments, because I know I saw Christina and Greg. They're kind of saying like they're getting a little stressed about this and that, because obviously we're dealing with a bad election out here too, so it's adding to our general stress level, to say the least.
Yeah.
Then we obviously talk about Steven, whatever he's going through. I know he's trying to keep it to himself, but obviously he's going through something probably more mental from the Burles ban. So, and I did see your comments where they're trying to keep the positive energy up and everything too. But it seems like even us people too, like me, Christina, and even Steve, we all seem to kind of fall under that weight, pressure, or stress that kind of comes with what society keeps throwing at us too.
Yeah, I think everyone does. And I think all you can do is navigate what's in front of you at any time, really. Some people talk about it more than others. So, you know, it's good to be there for each other, for sure. Some people are a bit more open about what's going on in their lives, and some aren't. We've got to help all of those people as well. You've got to use your intuition as well, because some people keep things very close to their chest, don't they? But yeah.
I would say instinct. So yeah.
Yeah, it's nice to be there for people when they need it, for sure. If you can help in any way. And so sometimes you're just helping just by being an ear, really, just by being there for them, because there's not much more you can do unless you try and help them sort out their life. And sometimes all you need is just someone, whether it's online or through music. Sometimes that's all you need. So that's why music is great and it's important, and why we need to listen and not get hung up on numbers and streaming. And it's much more rewarding having a couple of people really like your album, than seeing it's got 500 streams and you don't really know who's listening to it. That's what I think. There's more of a connection there, isn't there?
It would be nice.
buys your
Exactly.
album off Bandcamp, or if someone buys your song off Bandcamp. Talking's terrible for the voice.
A little too
So,
much talking. So yeah, no, that's good. You're
um,
good. I'll say try not to strain the voice too much, but but nonetheless, unfortunately, I think somehow we still end up coming back to the numbers in some sort of way because sometimes I see posts like some musicians just give up at some point here too, and I think
yeah,
it's because they were looking at those numbers. So and I think just seeing that, otherwise, I think it's because people are probably posting the laughing emoji instead of like maybe like the big heart emojis and all that stuff here too. I mean, it starts to weigh in afterwards. So unfortunately,
yeah, it does. And
despair
then
sets in. So yeah,
it's got to be up to them in the end, isn't it? And what you're really doing it for. You just got to keep going, and if and you got to do it for the right reasons as well. You've got to um, want to do it because you love it, and it gives you pleasure, and it gives you something to keep focused on. And you know, if you want to for different reasons, you'll have to look for it in other places, I suppose. You know, I think you need to be realistic as well. It doesn't hurt to be realistic. I mean, most people do music for themselves initially, I think, and then hopefully it helps someone else. But you definitely need to support those people that aren't feeling that they're getting heard. That's why there's initiatives in the community like the playlists that don't just focus on one group of people. They will stretch out and try and include everybody so anybody can have a turn. And I always try, and if I see someone that's only got 15 listeners on Spotify, I will try and connect with them on Facebook and say, look, hey, I really liked your song on there. I'm following you, and it just might give you the pep that you need for that week to keep going. Yeah, because you have to, as humans, we have to get a little bit back. I don't know many people that can just not have anything in return at all and keep going. You want to know someone's listening? That's for
I
sure.
expect some little return. Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah, just a
little
little bit.
ROI, return on investment. So yeah.
Yeah.
Not to go back to COVID. Sorry to go back to COVID here, actually, but I guess did you get real sick with COVID? I guess were you and family okay?
Yes, we were all okay. Yep. Very lucky. Very lucky, for sure. Because I know a lot of people weren't. It was very scary. Very scary. We actually were going on holiday, and um, we were told that our whole state in South Australia was about to be locked down. But we were 3 hours into our journey, and they told us it was going to be for a week. So it was going to take another 3 hours to get back home again. And I had been waiting for a holiday for a whole year, and we just thought we'll just keep going. We'll just be locked down in the place that we were going to. Big mistake. It was a big mistake. Yeah. But
In hindsight, yeah.
oh, it was lovely for the first 2 days, but when you're like when you're in a hotel and you're on the top floor overlooking the ocean, it's really nice for 2 days, but not so much after that. You get cabin fever for sure. So for what I had to go through is nothing compared to what other people had to go through. That's for sure. Yeah, very lucky.
Yeah. Some people I have interviewed, it rocked them pretty good. Obviously, some people have lost friends and family here. Others are pretty blessed. Even taking up hobbies. I know you mentioned you kind of had a blessing in disguise with COVID, taking up the piano
Mm.
and all that. So I can see why. And I know you talked about the music scene, I guess, in your neck of the woods. So I guess how's it been? I guess since they started lifting the restrictions off COVID, I guess a lot more cover bands.
Um, or Adelaide's not a huge scene. Um, Probably a lot because of our population here. Um, we There is places to play original music in Adelaide. Um, it's mainly a pub scene. We have a few. It's mainly a pub scene that have cover bands, and there's quite a few places that do original music, or blues clubs, things like that. And the Governor Hindmarsh has been a great live venue for a lot of years in Adelaide, so we get a lot of international acts there, and yeah, but not a huge scene, probably due to our population a bit too. But I do think that a lot of bands are struggling for live work. It's just not there as much as it used to be. The live scene in the 80s when I was in cover bands was really healthy. You could, play you could play 3 nights a week in Adelaide if you wanted to, you know. There was something on a Tuesday night, something every night of the week, but I don't think we have the population here, I think Melbourne and Sydney might be a bit better, but I think pretty much everywhere, from what I've read online, around the world, it's live music isn't what it used to be, and obviously it's competing with streaming, isn't it, and online stuff. So yeah, it would be nice if it sort of went back to that. I suppose everyone lost a lot of money through COVID, and everyone's a bit scared to sort of go down that route again, because even though everybody's sort of had to go online with their music, it's the double-edged sword, isn't it? So yeah, it's not going to be
That's for
easy
sure.
to
Yeah.
get out of that one. I think, the most important thing is to, make sure that music is still being produced by artists. We need, well, I need music, Music's a very powerful tool to sort of help and heal, for sure, I think, yeah.
Could heal a lot of wounds, to be honest with you, too. So yeah, I bet they should make a presidential campaign all focused around music and see how that works out.
Yeah, I don't know how, you guys in America, I mean, it's not just you guys having to deal with your politics, everyone's having trouble, aren't they?
Must be in a state of cynicism, to say the least. So
It
yeah,
never ends. It never ends. There's
sadly,
always something going on, isn't there?
do tell. But we'll not worry
That's
about that
why,
here too.
that's why music's good though, Brian, isn't it? Because, there's no rules in music really, so it's a good vehicle sort of for everyone to, have their opinion, isn't it?
Let's say, hey, it keeps me sane. So I mean, it's doing something, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it's really good.
But before I forget, first off, it's good to see you are doing well out there. So it's good to have you around here, Tracey. So thank you so much for what you do.
Oh, you think I'm doing well?
Oh yeah.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, you weren't impacted
Oh,
by COVID very bad. That's pretty much what I meant to say. So in terms of COVID, so it's good to see you're doing well. So
oh, thank you. I'm really enjoying it. Really enjoying it, yeah.
that's good.
Just,
Let's keep you
just
along here for the ride here too.
well, just keep writing. That's all you can do, really. Yeah, I get really scared if I don't have anything happening. Like, you know, I actually feel more comfortable if I've got like 3 or 4 things sort of, in the pigeonholes working on, each little thing at a time. And then
Pigeonholes.
yeah, like when you sort of have your little projects of where you want to go next and what you want to do, and then you get that sorted out and you think, okay, well, I'll get started to work on them. But it's sort of like, once you say, if you've got 4 things going, once you finish that first thing, you start getting a bit, okay, the projects are getting done, so where am I going to go from here, you know? Because there's some things that I've done and I'm like, how am I going to top that? Because I was really pleased with it, like, you know, like with Autumn, like how that song was just magical. How are we going to top that after that? And then, you know, that wonderful producer from Sweden contacts me again and says, I've got an idea, and then you're off again. And so I've done another song with him that is just getting mastered at the moment, and that's a really exciting topical song as well, and that will be released soon. So I suppose that's the good thing about collaborating with people, because once you do, when you have more ideas, you sort of get a little posse together, and you think, I think this would be good for that person, you know, and then you sort of get to work with them again. So, you know, that's always something to look forward to. And then, you know, my next song I was going to do, that I've just haven't started sort of putting it down on any electrical devices yet, but I was going to do that all on my own, and you know, I just like to balance it a bit, put one of my own out that I do just myself, and then I'll do another collaboration. But once you do collaborations, it's really hard to go back on your own again, because the collaborative work is so good that you don't really want to go back to being by yourself again. You know, I don't think I can do it on my own. Yeah, so yeah, because I'm no good at all the production sort of side. I mean, I'm learning, and you know, people have told me that I've definitely got better at doing that for sure. But you know, it's not really my bag. You know, I'm more interested in, you know, composing and writing music and singing. So if I was to learn all that other stuff and try and master all that as well, I probably wouldn't get much done, I would think. And, you know, if the other people that like to work with me and they like doing it, you know, I'm happy to, you know, just write stuff and, yeah, hopefully get some people that want to help me with it and work with me on it and, you know, create something really nice. Yeah. I'm so glad I just said, yep, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's
And
do
I was
it.
just picturing, as I was gonna say, I was just picturing like I'm on my own. Here we go. Actually, quoting a little Green Day song. It was the song Brains too. It's like on my own. Here we go. So yeah, let's see
Here
why.
we go.
Yeah, I could understand why do it by yourself unless you know stuff like doing a piano or any sort of keyboards for that instance. Because I know, actually, I still got mine here. Boy, this thing's collecting dust. I have not used this thing in a while, to say the least. But you need to also know multiple instruments, whether it is like all just electronic, like what you're using just in your digital audio workstation, or really anything else. So it's good to expand that knowledge and know how multiple instruments work. Then you're able to make the music, and it just goes like that.
Yeah. But, you know, Brian, I'm not interested really in it. It doesn't really interest me. It's not where my brain's at, you know. I don't know, I don't think I've got a very technical brain. Like if I had to study a manual, the whole book about how to do something, or you know, I like things to happen quite quickly, so it's probably not good for me doing stuff like that. It was hard enough learning how to use a condenser mic and an interface and do your own mixing and all that sort of stuff. That's hard enough to learn. But yeah, it doesn't really interest me that much. So hopefully I can, you know, just keep writing. I mean, you know, obviously you have to learn the basics, you know, as an artist. You do. You have to learn the basics. But I listen to what other people do, and I'm like, wow, how do you get that sound? That's unreal. Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know. I'd rather not know. I'd rather, if they're good at it, I don't want to know their secrets, really. It's more mysterious like that. Just love what they do, and I'll just continue on, what I like doing, Yeah,
Right.
that's what I'm going to do. Yeah.
I would say in terms of mixing and mastering, and this is actually something that's happened a little recently, was what they dubbed the loudness war. And basically when you're mixing and mastering and doing everything to make the song like really pop, they really boost the volume up so that it's pretty loud in the headphones, but it diminishes the quality.
Yeah.
So that's one thing to avoid. So there's a little lesson.
Oh, yes. I'm always looking at the gain, for sure. Gain's a big thing.
I'll say I had my gain just for this microphone here, just for this interview. I would have it probably, if I had to guess, that would be 9 right there. I'm going to say it's all jacked up to 9. So that way it picks up the voice pretty well.
It's hard to control that with singing too. Mixing vocals is another thing too. That's a bit of a challenge. When you're singing, like when you're really projecting your voice into a condenser mic, and yeah, that's where, I suppose all the producers come in and do all the compressing and all that sort of stuff, Yeah, so no, I'm really enjoying it, Brian, and I'm really happy how it's going, and I just hope I can continue. I can continue doing it, yeah.
Oh, I'm sure you will. So don't worry. They're going to be around for a good while.
We're not going to run. We don't run out of things to write about, really, do we?
We find a way, or we make one. That's the way the indie artists should do it. So yeah.
Well, the last song I did was with Geo Stowe. I think you pronounce it Stowe, Stough. I haven't actually asked him how you pronounce his name. It might be Stowe, but I'll say Stowe for me. But yeah, because he's a prolific poetry writer, and I wanted to. He sort of made an announcement that if any musicians wanted his poetry, they could turn into a song and make it theirs. Whatever they wanted to do with it was fine by him. He just wanted his poetry to sort of get out there a bit more. And I thought, wow, now I love being challenged. So I wanted to use my composing skills and see if I could make the poetry into a melody and rearrange the lyrics so I could make it into take it from just being written on paper as a poem to an actual song with music. And yeah, I think it turned out really well. I'm very happy with it, and made a video for it, and that's getting, Geo's really happy with it as well. And Richie Warwick helped me with it as well, and played some guitar and did some singing on it, which was really nice of him to do. And that comes out today on YouTube, on Geo's channel. Yeah, because he uses.
Did you say Richie Warwick also helped out?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, Richie's an awesome dude here too. I actually interviewed him as well here too, so there's another one for you to check out.
Oh, you're going to?
No, I already did. So.
Oh yeah, I must check out your interviews. I'm sorry, I haven't seen them. I've known about you for a long time though, but I don't think we've really connected much before, have we? For some reason.
I think it was just this last month, really. Now that I think about it, I think it was more because of Steve. So yeah.
I think I know you more through Katrina Marie. I think because I've been following Katrina since I started, and she was a big influence on becoming a songwriter as well, when I saw what she was able to do. I did see your name a lot associated with her, much early on, yeah, because I think you've been friends for a while, and she did an interview with you. She did an interview just recently with you, or was that an old one?
You're saying Katrina at first. I thought maybe you were thinking of a Black Marine or.
No, not Marina. Katrina Marie Music in Canberra.
I have to look that up again.
Oh,
I'm
it
drawing a
might have,
blank on it.
I think it was you. Maybe it was someone else that she was interviewed by. I just saw it recently. But she wouldn't be offended if you forgot. She's such a nice person. You've
I
done
got a
so
lot on my
many.
mind here too. So I know you talked about the restaurant industry earlier. I mean, I just came from that not too long ago, so I had a very long day to say the least.
Yeah. Oh, what? You worked in the restaurant?
Yeah, I actually do some cooking and do some cleaning. I pretty much do all the kitchen stuff in the back.
That would be hard physical work. It's one job I've never wanted is to work with food. I think it would be very physically taxing. That's for sure.
I guess, did you try being a waitress?
Oh, not for very long.
Hmm.
No. I did it for a couple of months when I was about 18. And I spilt the whole tray of drinks over this man's suit. So that was it for me. Yeah, that job was it for me.
Yeah. But I guess this restaurant in general, I guess, did you have like a little stage right there that kind of had like cover bands come up, and I guess somehow they found out about your singing and everything?
It was actually a floor show. So um, it was a well-known Chinese restaurant in Adelaide, and the owner was actually a singer. So he owned the restaurant, but he would also do his own shows in the restaurant. And there would be a big dance floor in the middle of the restaurant, sort of. And he would do a floor show while everyone was eating. And beautiful food. And so he asked me if I wanted to do some duets with him for a bit of experience, because I was a young singer and just starting out. And that was, it's funny when you look back at these experiences, in retrospect, it really, it was a bit of a baptism of fire with singing, because, to stand on a dance floor and sing in front of people while everyone's eating and cluttering their knives and forks is not easy. It's not easy. It's not an easy environment. It's not for everybody. You sing your heart out and you don't get one clap. All you get is conversation in the background and knives and forks going. And then you do the next song, and the next song, and the next song. Because it's hard, because it's not a dancing atmosphere. I enjoyed being in a band more, because there was usually a dance floor involved and people would dance to your music. I enjoyed that environment more than singing to people who were sitting down eating. But, it's all experience, isn't it? Because, you get some shows where you do corporate shows and everyone's sitting down eating. So I didn't realise all those years later that experience when I was 18 would come in handy, because I sort of did the worst environment you can sort of sing in first up. And then it sort of trained me for corporate shows, when you've got a whole ballroom of people just eating and not really getting up to dance till it's half an hour for the show to finish, because they've had enough alcohol by then. Yeah, so they get up half an hour before the show finishes and start dancing and want more. you know, and you've been working since 8 p.m., you know, with no one on the floor at all. So, I mean, those shows are prestigious. They're great, but, you know, I think singing in hotels is more fun. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think some documentaries can probably attest to that as well here too. So I can see why.
Yeah.
And I guess before I forget though too, I guess what sort of gear do you use for your music production?
My voice,
That's how your voice.
a Rode, a Rode condenser mic, an interface, apps, yeah, and a Yamaha piano.
Sorry if you're going to include something else there. So
The truth, that's it. Yeah.
short and simple. I guess how big is the Yamaha? Is it a good sized one or is it like one of those real small MIDI keyboards that you see?
No, it's not full size. It's not a full piano size. No, but it's not a MIDI keyboard. No, it's a proper piano. But what I like is I love doing my piano lessons because I get to play a real piano. That's what I would like. I would love to learn how to. I would like to actually record playing the real piano because I mean, you know, you have real piano sounding settings on the Yamaha, but you know, it's when I get into my piano lesson, I get to play on a real piano. There's nothing like a real piano. Yeah.
The life of Mozart and Beethoven and Bach and all those guys.
Yeah. It's nothing like it. Yeah.
Yeah, I can understand. Yeah. So some good
So I
choices. I guess
suppose, you know, that's technology, isn't it?
yeah, that's a good thing about technology. I know technology gets a bad rep these days. So
You can't plug in a real piano, can you? You know?
no, that one, a typical wooden one, or anything you would technically get at a music store. First off, it's real heavy too, so you get those cartoon images
Oh,
where
that's right.
they're pulling it up, all the strings, everything, and it probably falls apart and falls on somebody. Looks like a little cartoon sort of moment right there.
It's just not practical, is it? It's not
Very much, yeah.
Because everyone had a piano in their home, didn't they? Like, well, not everyone, but you know, we used to have pianos in their homes.
Those who could afford it, we should say. So yeah.
Yeah, so. But,
Yeah, back in the day, or it was a record player or some sort of device that would at least give you some entertainment. We should say that was always
yeah,
something that was mandatory in a house. So yeah,
even the record players were like big antique cupboards, and you just had like
and a nice little horn and everything too. It was like today's like turntable would actually look like here too. So yeah,
yeah, and a little speaker in it. Yeah, it's funny the way things have gone. But then
but for
again, you
better or
know,
worse. So yeah,
yeah, because the likelihood of me buying a real piano and sticking it in my house for exorbitant amounts of money is like, you know, probably not going to happen. So, you know, you get to do music with a lightweight, something you can have in the back room. So, you know, it all evens out, I suppose.
perfect little balance act. However you want to look at it too. So yeah.
Yeah.
I guess speaking of which, is this the room where you make the magic happen, or do you have a separate room where you record and do your music?
I actually used to be in the dining room, but I'm so surprised my dog has not barked at all yet.
Don't jinx it.
Yeah, no, he's asleep. He actually falls asleep to me talking and me singing. He falls asleep all the time. I don't know why.
Got the soothing voice. So
Yeah, I don't know. They're
it's like
funny.
compared to a siren, or how they would used to describe sirens like back then, and like I didn't want to say Greek. I almost say Greek, but it was more like Italian sort of mythology or anything like that. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, well, I did have my equipment in the dining room. But then, I sort of wanted the dining room back, so I've just gone in the bedroom now, and it's much better. Much better down there, and it's much more quieter as well, because our son still lives here, so you don't get a quiet house with a 25-year-old.
No, you do not.
You have to pick your moments with family and dogs. Probably an indie artist's biggest challenge is to have time to record when it's peace and quiet.
You ain't lying. I mean, I've done my little vocals in here for my music project. That's just like a small closet, but it comes in handy.
Yeah. And I'm on a flight path as well. I'm on an airplane flight path as well.
Airplane mode, we wanted to call it that. So.
I have to actually sing between the airplane going over sometimes.
Oh, that must be rough at times. Oh no.
Yeah, I'll hear the airplane in the distance. I'll hear it coming, and I'm like, okay, I'll turn everything off, and I'll wait till it flies over, and then I'll start again.
I would say maybe get a nice little chord too, but it actually blends in with the music too, or something like that.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, we're just in a flight path, and you know what it's like. Sometimes the next door neighbour's leaf blower will start up, or the lawnmower, and you've got a whole afternoon that you set aside for doing a bit of stuff, and then it just all goes out the window, So I try and sort of do a new song. It's been working out about every 6 weeks for a couple of years. It's been quite good. And it can be hard too, but I think indie artists are scared of not doing something for like 2 months because they sort of feel that they might lose all their connections with people and lose momentum, and I don't think it happens like that, because I've seen other people take a break and they come back and you're like, it's like they never left, So we shouldn't worry about feeling like we have to pump out all this music, because it's really got to be about quality. So I suppose if I'm between releases, or I'm working with a collaborator that's taking their own time and finding their own issues, finding time to finish it, I'll just start writing, and then you've got something to sort of work on. Just keep writing and just support others while you're in a little bit of a break. And I have found that listening to other people's music is the best thing you can do being an indie artist, because you can get so much inspiration. If ever you don't know what to write about, or you don't really know where your next project's coming from, or I just listen to other people's music, different genres and everything, and just get into that. Get into community playlists, try and support them for a while, and voila! From listening to other people, something of your own experience comes up, or you'll get a tune in your head, and you're off again. That's how it works for me. Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone has a different approach, but I can see where you're going with that. But I guess while we're on the topic of writing, I guess, what do you normally want your lyrics to be about? Do you normally write about personal experience, or do you try to get poetic at times?
They're just thoughts, really. They'll just be thoughts, and thoughts about things that have happened from the past, or thoughts that are happening to other people that you're witnessing in real time, or something that you've seen on TV that has annoyed you that you want to write about, just from daily living, and I suppose what your life has been about up until now. So I sort of felt like the first sort of bit of writing that I did very much was a retrospective look at things that have happened personally to me. And then after that, I've sort of unpacked all that a little bit with my the first collection of songs on the album Meant to Be that I brought out. I've sort of unpacked a lot of things on there already that I wanted to write about. And now I'm sort of moving on and going with the flow. So whatever thoughts come into my head, I'm just letting it organically happen. Like working, with someone's poetry, or I might ask someone to send me a piece of music that they've written, and I'll try and put some lyrics to it for them. I think doing things like that is great as an indie artist to do, because it sort of it broadens your scope a lot and makes you a better musician, I think, for sure.
You'd be right. Yeah, I can see what you mean. So
just try lots of different things. And I suppose because I really have to collaborate, not just because I want to, but I need to, really, because I can't just be me and piano all the time. I think it's good to change it up a bit and not do the same thing all the time. Keep it interesting for yourself and interesting for other people. I think that's important. Yeah.
yeah, I was trying to think of one of those like little acronyms they sometimes do. It's like keep it simple, stupid. That's the ones. So
yeah.
I was like, just keep it simple and short and simple. Yeah, that's more the generic one. So you can see why.
Simple is good.
Simple's always good. We don't really need to make a simple life here. That's what they gotta do. So Tracey, maybe these questions here are pretty good. So now we're down to the fun ones. Ready?
Yeah.
All right. So let's see what you got here. So first one. What would you say is currently your favorite food?
My favorite food?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love Thai food. I just can't make it like they do. We've got a market. We've got a market in town called Central Market, and in Chinatown there's a beautiful Thai place in there, and it's just like has the best green curry and red curry that I've ever tasted. So I try and go there when I can, every now and then. But I just can't seem to make it like they do. I try it at home and it's nothing like. Yeah, they just know how to do it. Yeah, I love Thai food though. Yeah.
There's always been some sort of Asian food, whether it is Thai.
Yeah.
And actually, sushi's been on the rise here too. I've always been surprised with sushi.
So. Oh, I love the sushi train. Yeah.
Don't say too much with Chinese, even though I think we might have like one every now and again with some of these interviews. So it's some sort of Asian food with Italian and then Mexican being second and third.
Yeah, I try all of those. Yeah, like a bit partial to the Indian too. The Indian food's nice too.
That's true. I did have a couple who said about Indian cuisines too, so that's fair enough. And actually, one of them was actually from one of the bands up in New York, in my neck of the woods, actually called Swill. Actually, he's real big into that Indian curry food. So something he actually sells on his little business that he does.
And he plays music as well.
He does music as well, yeah. It's a nice little rock group they have going on. Shout out to Swill, by the way. Simon and Scott. Yeah, Scott and Simon. That's who I interviewed. So,
wow.
Strongly recommend you check them out. That dude kicks some major ass.
Do they have stockists in Australia?
No, they're just strictly in America. So, but Simon, he was actually originally from the UK, and he eventually worked his way over to America. So, I know Australia and the UK's kind of connection still goes back a long ways. So, the British Empire, those old days. So, you can see why.
Yeah.
Okay. So moving on here to the next one, I guess, what would you say is currently your favorite movie And if you have a favorite TV series that you like to share, go ahead.
I don't watch many movies lately. I like the movies that I usually rewatch the movies that I used to like when I was younger. I like rewatching them again. I tend to stick to the old ones, really. I love all the Clint Eastwood movies. I rewatch them. I watch a lot of movies from the 80s that I used to watch and loved, So as far as like Netflix and that go, I watched that Penguin one that was just been on recently. Do you have that in the US? It's a Netflix series. It's called Penguin, and I think it's a bit gruesome. I didn't enjoy it at all, so I'm just like no.
I think it's one of those documentaries that talk about penguins and the whole migration patterns that they go through.
Actually, if I'm honest, what I'm really into is documentaries on TV. I love nature ones. I love watching the nature documentaries. I love watching David Attenborough, all his stuff. And I love documentaries on musicians and film actors. I love that sort of stuff. I love watching the BBC as well. I mean, the other night I watched an episode of the Royal Family. So, all the old English comedies. Yeah, real funny.
Talk about The Crown and all those ones. So yeah.
No, I don't do them. I mean like the royal family that sit on the couch the whole time, watch TV. That one. They smoke cigarettes and they eat baked beans and yeah.
They do the things rich people are probably supposed to be doing. So
Yeah, that's right.
all right. Good choices there. I see your first one I mentioned about documentaries. Everyone's always had some sort of movie, so yeah, that's a first.
Yeah, I've got some classic movies that had an impact on me when I was younger. But I mean, I like all the old classics like Ben-Hur and The Deer Hunter with Robert De Niro and Christopher Walken. They're like my two favourite actors of all time. And I just like all the old classics, really. Yeah, the modern movies of today don't really grab me that much. Yeah.
They did some work, to say the least. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like my favourite actors are like, Jack Nicholson and, all that sort of, that group.
And they're all old right now, so unfortunately they're reaching that sort of point in their lives, yeah. So yeah.
All the Godfather movies and Raging Bull and, all those sort of movies. Although I must admit I did really enjoy Interstellar though. Yeah. There are
Matthew McConaughey, yeah.
Yeah. I actually like The Matrix too. So really,
Keanu Reeves, yeah, and Lawrence Fishburne, and that was in it, yeah.
I have seen a few more than I think. Yeah. But if I'm put on the spot, I'll just always default to, the older movies. Yeah.
Fair enough. All right, good choices though. For the next one right here, I don't know if you drink any alcohol, but if you do, I guess, what's your favorite alcoholic drink and non-alcoholic drink?
No, I don't drink at all. Good. I used to. Yeah, I used to, but it's been like 3 years now that I have not touched it, and it's the best thing that I ever did. I really don't think I could do music if I drank, because just makes you too numb, I think. I'd much rather rely on my own strengths to get me through and to write music with 100% clarity. That's important to me because my music has become my writing has become very important to me, and I really enjoy it. And I know that drinking just is not going to be beneficial at all to be doing that. But I'm not saying I didn't enjoy it. I've given it a good go, for sure, for a lot of years, yeah. I've definitely had a good time. But, it does catch up with you. It does catch up with you, so...
Yeah.
yeah.
I have interviewed people who probably had real bad drinking problems at some point, but they've given it up. So it's good to hear that. So congratulations on
Yeah,
being sober.
thank you. It's not easy.
I
It's not
imagine.
easy. But, you have to, it's with everything. You have to be ready to want to do it, and you'll just do it. You don't want to do it anymore. Yeah.
Let's
It's
do it.
not it's
So, yeah.
not nice having something that has a hold on you. I don't like that feeling of something having a hold on you. I like to be in control myself. Yeah. That was the main reason too. Yeah.
I'm sorry to repeat. Like, did you say what your favorite non-alcoholic drink were?
Oh, I just drink coffee. I don't drink much coffee. I like ginger beer. Yeah. I just drink ginger beer with lemon and mint. Not something that I ever saw myself doing when I was drinking. I never thought I could get to this, point in my life where I had succeeded at giving it up, and I was quite happy being like this. But I totally recommend it, for sure. Yeah. It's not easy though. Like the first year is really, really hard. And, I don't think you ever lose that sort of, oh, what if I did? But I know, as with most things, once you start something, you're just picking up where you left off, really. So you just don't do it.
Fair enough. All right. And for the last fun questions here, what would you say is currently your favorite song if you got one in the mainstream world? If you want to share one from the indie community, let's see what you got.
A favourite song?
Yep.
I have lots. Lots and
Let's
lots.
pick two. How about that? From each one, the mainstream, and then if you have two from indie, I guess go.
Mainstream? Well, I can tell you what I've got lots of mainstream ones, but I think one of the songs that is my all-time favourite song that has never left me, and to this day I still can't sing it. I can listen to it, but I can't sing it. It's the only song I've never been able to sing all the way through. I get to the first verse and just can't go any further because I just choke up. And it's actually Barbara Streisand's song "Memories," and I just to write a song like that, just the chords that it's got and the lyrics would just be the ultimate for me. But I cannot sing it. I have tried, and I think it just touches the sentimental side of me too much. I wouldn't be able to sing it live at all. I have tried, and I can't sing it live at all. So it's funny how music moves you. There must be something in that song. It's either a particular note or a lyric mixed with the note. I don't know what it is, but it chokes me up every time, and I've never been able to work out what it is. I just know I can't sing it. So I think that's just the sentimental side of me, really. So I would say that's my all-time favourite song. And indie, I can't tell you what my favourite indie song is because it wouldn't be fair to anyone. I'll tell you what my favourite songs that I've done would be easier probably because I wouldn't want to leave anybody out. But highlights for me, obviously, in songwriting have been being able to get an album out. That was a great achievement for me. And the collaborations that I'm doing, I'm very proud of Autumn with Barker, Eric Baker. I'm very proud of the stuff that I'm doing now with artists that I haven't worked with before, but I've known for a long time. I'm excited for those to come out soon. And obviously with, and my piano teacher and Aidan Thurso, my first collaborator, really. So very proud of what I've been able to do and very excited of what's next. Just keep writing, you know. I would never say what my favourite indie artist song is. I don't think I can. There's just too many good ones, honestly. There's just too many good songs, and they're all good in their own right, you know. Yeah, so... Yeah.
All right.
I definitely have my go-to indie artists that are my friends as well. And, you know, but gee, there's so much good stuff out there. And it's just wonderful to see all of the artists that I have known for the last 3 years, just watching them just get better and better and collaborate more. And it's been a really fun ride so far. Yeah.
That's for sure. All right. Throw it out there too. And thanks for sharing that nonetheless. So,
yeah.
All right. So, Tracey, we are down to one more question in my podcast right here. But I guess before we jump into it, do you have any questions you want to ask me? Or any final words you want to say before we jump into it?
No, all good. I'm glad. Well, thank you very much for having me, for sure. And thank you for reaching out. And I feel very honoured that you wanted me as part of your interview. So thank you very much for that, and I'm glad we got the microphone working.
Yeah. Like we said earlier, we're having technical difficulties because Tracey's microphone did not want to cooperate initially. So we had to go into Messenger, and then somehow, by the grace of God, or some sort of lucky click, as we want to say, luck of the draw or whatever, we got it to work out. So,
and the dog hasn't barked either, which is good. My dog is a real barker, and it has not barked yet, so that's good.
I'll say real quick, what kind of dog is it?
A Jack Russell.
Oh, yeah, those little small ones. Okay, fair enough.
Full on.
Okay. But there's something else here, too. Here's how the last question goes. So, Tracey, given what COVID has done, as well as anything else that's kind of impacted people's lives, obviously, you were pretty blessed. Looks like COVID was more of a blessing in disguise than it was actually negative impact of like how it did for like most people. But for those musicians and people impacted by COVID or anything else in their lives, what sort of message of hope could you give to them so they can try to move forward with their lives?
Okay, well, you know, music's a good outlet for sure. I would get into music, and I would reach out to people. You know, the world is not inside four walls; it's out there. So you need to have a balance of connecting with the community online, but also the community outside your house as well. That's what I would say. If you reach out to people, people are really amazing at lifting you up, and so is music. So if I was in their situation, I would do that too. A problem shared, you know, is halved, I think. So definitely reach out to people if you have problems, whether it's online or, because you'll probably find most people are going through similar things as you as well. You know, you'd be surprised. Yeah.
That's for sure. And spoken like a true prodigy. So.
Thank you.
Always one of the
Thanks
catchphrase
for having
lines.
me.
No worries. And I guess real quick, what sort of social media are you on so people can check you out, and I guess also streaming platforms so they can check out your music?
Oh, just Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, Bandcamp. I love Bandcamp because I love buying my friends' music. It's different because you can have it in your own little catalogue. Yeah, it's nice, yeah. And it helps support them a bit too. But it's different when you play a song that you've bought on Bandcamp from, one of your indie artist friends, or just an indie artist that you don't really know of, but you like the song, it's sort of like you've got it in your own record collection now. It's a bit different to playing it on Spotify. It's sort of like it's your song that you can pause and play when you want. You know, it becomes yours then. Yeah. So, yeah, I'd like to see more people, not just artists, utilise Bandcamp. That would be good for indie artists for sure.
That's for sure. I heard good things about Bandcamp as well as Tidal, because I know some people try to walk away from Spotify, but it seems like you always come back to Spotify in some way, shape, or form. So you can say why.
You need everything, really, don't you? Need everything.
Sadly, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess real quick, got any other shout outs? I guess if you got a top 10, because I'm sure you probably got a whole long list of indie artists you want to give a shout out, but I guess you got a top 10?
Well, I'm just really enjoying the community playlists at the moment that Vox and Burlos are putting out at the moment, Vox and Sticks. Christina and Stephen are putting out some great playlists. Sorry, all the artists are actually. Vox and Sticks put out playlists, and artists get to help curate them, so I listen to them. And I love the Christina and Burlos, Stephen, the little critiquing community sort of playlists that they're doing with 3 artists that, you know, you sort of review their song and you write a review down, and the artist gets to see it. And that's been a lot of fun recently doing that, yeah.
That does sound like fun. I'll have to see it. Probably incorporate that for me and TJ's little collaboration we did. So thanks for sharing that too.
Yeah.
All right. But to close out like this. So everyone, my guest today was Tracey, hailing from the land down under in Adelaide. Did I pronounce that city right?
Yes, Adelaide, yeah.
Adelaide. Okay. Want to make sure I pronounce it right. Sorry, my Australian's not that good either. But okay, Adelaide, Australia.
Thank you,
Just part of our own little music project here, Subtlety. I want to make sure I'm working on my English here too. So you should go hit up on all the socials. Go check out all streaming platforms, as well as check out her collab works that she's done with everyone else in the community. So let's go help our big sister out there too. So Tracey, thank you again so much again for coming on here too. So you do stay safe because it is a crazy world out there. Okay.
Will do. Thank
and
you.
I need a pose. Stay tuned, y'all.